Do you want to learn about masculine feminine polarity? 5 secrets to creating it as a woman. Hey, I'm Antia, creator and founder of the Magnetize The Man Method. And what I found along the way is that creating masculine feminine polarity is really the key to a sustainable, long-term, deep connected relationship. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Secret number 1 is appreciate him. Now, I see this so often that so many single successful women take men for granted and just be like, yeah, whatever, I could have done this myself. I could have carried up the groceries by myself. I could have opened up the door by myself. I could have done all of this by myself. And so I know that we have this really independent culture, right? We're empowered as women these days. And we oftentimes forget to appreciate our man. Look, I've been married now for almost 6 years, 7 years together with my amazing man. And one of the key ingredients is really appreciating him. Now, I personally really enjoy appreciating him. And I always think as of many examples as I possibly can to not only even appreciate him in private, but I also appreciate him in public as well. I appreciate him on Facebook and, of course, only when it feels authentic and when it feels aligned. But I always find something, wow, I so appreciate when he just handles something, when he just changes a light bulb or when he just takes care of something, right? So even if it's just something super, super small, to be just hey, thank you. Thank you so much for doing the dishes, Thank you so much for heating up the soup. Thank you so much, right? So just really learning, just really strengthening that appreciation muscle, because men, and particularly masculine men, right? They're really rising like cream to the top, so to say. I think that's how you say it. The more you appreciate them, right? All right. Secret number 2, let him initiate. For God's sake, girlfriend, I know you want to lead by yourself. It's super uncomfortable to let him lead, to trust him fully, that he knows what he's doing, that you don't have to hold the fort down and so on, right? But really let him initiate. So many times when those single successful women come to me, right? Especially when it comes to online dating, they want to reach out to men, or when I talk to somebody, hey, let me just reach out to him and let me check in with him and let me see if he's back in town. Let's say he left town and he, is he back in town? And just, hey, just want to let you know, I'm back in town, right? All of those, we're trying to find those sneaky ways to initiate, because unconsciously, and here's the key for that, is the unconscious brain doesn't actually trust that he's going to reach out. So the initiation is actually coming from a place of fear. Now, this is really important to know, because guess what? When you act from a place of fear, you can only create more of that. That's right. So that means you're going to create more circumstances where more fear, more anxiety is going to rise to the surface, and it's going to make you feel even more unloved or unsafe or not secure, right? Unsupported. But it's because you started that initial action from a place of fear, okay? Versus coming from a place of love, coming from a place of trust, asking yourself, how can I come even more from a place of trust? If you trusted that your man would reach out, would you initiate? If you trusted your man that he has the best in mind for you and that his agenda is perfectly in alignment with yours, would you trust him more? I bet you would. And also, you would let him initiate more. Look, it's so much more joyful when a man initiates and you get to lean back and just relax. Secret number 3 is literally step back and receive. Now, I want to put the emphasis here on receive, okay? Because oftentimes it's so much easier to send energy, right? Almost to penetrate a man. That's what I mean with the masculine energy, to doing the opposite, the other way around, penetrating a man with your energy versus actually receiving, allowing a man to receive, you're receiving a man's energy, right? And so what I want you to practice is saying to yourself that it is safe to receive, right? So let's say you get a compliment from a man, words of affirmation, or a gift or whatever it is, right? Or acts of service, And so just really breathing in, it's safe to receive. It's safe to receive, right? Because the thing is, like, as a child, you learn that it's not safe to receive, right? That there's either strings attached, right? Like, okay, if I receive, then my mom expects me to do this, or if I receive, I'm going to be let down, right? If I let my walls down, I'm going to get disappointed even more, right? And I get proven even more that I can't rely on anyone. Because what does it take to receive? Well, it takes to be open, available, and yes, ladies, of course, like one of those aspects that you probably don't like so much, which is being vulnerable, available, right? That's oftentimes that most magnetic piece as well. And so you can even do an exercise, right, where you could actually close your eyes and just imagine a man just coming as close to you as you feel safe with, right? So if you feel like, oh, like have him stop and imagining him just holding eye contact with you while you're, that's right, breathe and stay grounded and stay in your body, right? And feel safe and really practice that the man stops and really acknowledges how far you allow him to come in and how far you need more space or you need a little bit more time or whatever the case may be. Secret number 4, smile and have an open body language. Smile, girlfriend. And so what do I mean by that? Well, so my husband, he's been working with really successful
quality single man for about 10 years, and he's even taken him out on lots of field trips and night outs, right? And so it's really about like what are men looking for when they decide who to approach. Because if you are one of those women who have a hard time being approached, but yet you're attractive, but yet you're successful, and yet you're actually putting yourself out there, I guarantee you it's in your unconscious communication that you are sending to the man of the world through your body language. So first, those men are really looking for a smile, right? A smile is an invitation. A smile also shows confidence. A smile can also be flirty. It can be sexy. And it is certainly very inviting. So open body language. Now, when you're out with your girlfriends, what I see so many times, and I used to take women out all the time as well, is like I see a lot of crossed arms and crossed legs. Now, I know that you're being trained that, especially if you did any schools around like sophistication and table manners and this and that, right? But it's really like blocking the energy, right? Like, and I'm not saying that you should sit like and stand like wide-legged, but like open, you know, just just have your legs be just like normal distance apart. Same with your arms, just have them like relaxed. Just hang them down, maybe even have your palms facing either your body or maybe even the front of you, right? And so why is that important? Again, it's like what? It's available, right? If I like hold my eyes like that, my arms like that, right? It's like, she's like, I don't know, you know, she's like a little standoffish. Oftentimes men also read into it and thinking like she either doesn't want to meet anyone or she already has somebody in her life, right? And so then what that means is like, well, you are not going to get approached, right? And not because you're not attractive and not because like you're not magnetic, because a man is really feeling like you're not available. So you really want to pay attention to what available, unavailable body language cues are you sending on a regular basis. I'm telling you, there are so many, you would not even notice it. I also have the resting bitch face, right? The RBF. And that is really like something, if you are suffering under the RBF, right? Then I really, really recommend like doing exercises in the mirror, because your unconscious goes into this like facial expressions. And unfortunately, the men don't know that and they don't take the risk. Absolutely not. Because for men, it's a really big risk to get rejected. And it really feels like their ego, not like just their ego, but their identity, you know? Their identity is like put at risk, really. And why is that? Now it's a little bit more biological, because guess what? What happens is, back then, when a man would pick the wrong, like not even a man, but even like in animal kingdom, you know, in so many tribes, like if the male picks a wrong female and it's actually the female of someone else and she's available, he's dead, right? So that's where this original approach anxiety from men is coming from. So make it easy on the men and help them ease the approach anxiety and help to approach you. And tip and secret number 5 is express your inner little girl and play. Yummy. So I have Beyonce here with me. So, you know, always, and you see also like some pink in the background. So you always like, you know, you want to bring some elements of the little girl. Every little girl is different, but think about, what did your little girl wanted to do when she was when you were little, you know what I mean? Did you just like running around? Did you like painting? Did you like dancing? Did you like just being silly, making silly faces, acting, you know, playing music, whatever you wanted to do? Just allow her to express herself and play. Put down that sort of like defense, and that you have to do everything right, and that you have to be competent, and that you have to be, you know, all this stuff, right? But instead, I invite you to be actually like, be carefree. Because one thing that my husband always says is really the most attractive and magnetic part of a woman is really the little girl. That's where the most magnetic, the masculine and feminine polarity is being created. So men are telling this us over and over again. The most attractive is when a woman is really in her little girl and in her zone, you know, and she minds her own business, so to say, right? She's like in her joy. And so it's really about like playing and really feeling safe to play. For some of you, you will have to say it's safe to play. It's safe to be playful, you know, it's safe to be silly. It's safe to be goofy. All right, so those are the 5 secrets to masculine feminine polarity, to creating it as a woman. So if you're like, gosh, it's been really, really interesting, and yet I have a really hard time to really embody some of those. My body language is off. I don't really know how to receive. I don't really feel safe to receive, you know, or like appreciating him. I don't know, you know, I feel like he doesn't appreciate me, or whatever the case may be. A little girl, oh gosh, you know, let me stay away from that. I really invite you to look at that on a deeper level. And if you really have a bigger challenge with that, I invite you to come in a Magnetize Your Man heart-to-heart chat with me, where we get crystal clear what it is for you that really gets you stuck. What is that internal dialogue? What is that block? What is that deeper question? What is it that you're afraid to express, right? So we can really turn that ship around and help you to attract your man and your happily ever after. So for that, hop on over to magnetizeyourman.com, magnetizeyourman.com. I'll click that link below. I am super excited to talk to you then. Much love. Take care. Mwah.